games in the last few months, banning out that Darkseer for his potential in the long lane, as well as banning out that Lifestealer, and everybody that is watching the stream should know the potential power of that Lifestealer, particularly in the tri-lane, with his rage, with his generic staying power through Life Leech, through Lifesteal I should say. Also, the great opening wounds, which does enable you to dive, slow someone down and help you pick it off, you know, as long as you've got follow through from your team. Meanwhile, we have the other team, I forget what they're called now, the Dire team, banning out OD. OD coming back with a vengeance in the last few months as a mid-hero. He kind of fell out of popularity, but now he's back with severe vengeance, and he is seeing a lot of ban hate. He's also seeing a lot of pickup. And they've also gone for this unusual Doom ban. We don't see a lot of Doom. We do see him occasionally, very infrequently in these off lane, but you know, still, you know, is that worth a 2-drop hero for a ban slot? We'll see. In any case, Invidious eSports picking up Batrider being one of those heroes that does dominate the mid position. You know, he does dominate because he does have the ability to slow the enemy heroes with his sticky tar, as well as that massive engagement with the blink in with the lasso, which you hope to get if he is in the mid position or solo lane. So very good pick up there for Batrider, but they haven't limited themselves to that for their drafting format. They can still pick up somebody for the mid lane and put Batrider into an offlane position. Meanwhile, the Dire team, they've picked up Weaver, and hopefully now I do have a Cocast. Are you there, Dota Yoshi?
Yes, I am. I was having a little bit of problems. I forgot I had in-game Cocasters muted. So I finally got that sorted out, and I am here.
Seems I'm flying solo just in the meantime. But I'm just going to quickly jump in and make sure that...
Hello, can you hear me?
Radiant team ban.
Oh, I can hear typing. Dota Yoshi, are you there, buddy?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Welcome to the cast, finally. What do you think about the lineup so far?
I am looking to see Invidious eSports. They're going to be sitting on this farming kind of route. You pick up an Alchemist, you expect to sit there for 20 to 25 minutes while your Alchemist gets his minus, gets his first major item, and maybe 2 items depending on his farm going, and look to see them take off from there. And a Batrider, very strong mid hero that will do a lot of initiations around the map and set up a lot of potential for Invidious eSports. However, there is a Rubik, and Rubik is one of my favorite supports in the game.
I gotta agree with you there with the Batrider, we've already covered that a little bit, but when we move on to the Alchemist, Alchemist having one of those heroes that if you leave him alone, you know you're going to pay for it later in the late game, and so it does require you to have a bit of an early game strategy to shut him down. If you leave him to the mid phase or to the late phase to sort of engage, you can be caught off guard by the fact that he can just shoot so far ahead in terms of farm, in terms of items, and also in terms of obviously levels. But at the same time, normally when you pick up an Alchemist, it does mean that you've got some reliance on your supports for probably what you consider a defensive tri-lane. And it's very frequently do we see an Alchemist in an offensive tri-lane, so this gives away one of your potential trumps. But in any case, moving along now into the second setup of bans, what do you think about these particular lineup of bans?
I feel as if Invidious eSports, they're doing the right thing here. They're getting rid of the very harsh supports. You get rid of the Naga Siren, you shut down any counter initiation. They don't have a song. They can't turn around and get an Alchemist once he has his BKB run. You can't ensnare the Batrider, so you can't pull anyone out. And getting rid of that Gyrocopter, he's one of the strongest teamfight carries there are in the game. Throw down that caller, you can shut down any team and any aggression. While it's over on the side of Divine Gaming, they're going for these support heroes. They're trying to limit Invidious eSports route that they want to go. They got rid of the Visage, and Visage is the strongest tri-laning support hero in this game. If you pick off him, it forces Invidious eSports to go down this route. I wouldn't be too surprised if they pick up a Bane and possibly Lina to follow up in their support routes. But they are trying to limit what they don't like to go against, and I really like this by Divine Gaming.
Yeah, I have to totally agree with the Visage call there. Visage coming through for the last sort of half of the year. I've got to say he has been the primary pickup for that support position, particularly in the tri lane. So much power coming out of Visage. In fact, you almost in some matches that I've casted in the recent months, you've almost seen the pseudo carry Visage in the early gaming phase. But quickly now, they've picked up a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain obviously for that mid lane position, or potentially in the off lane. But you know, we do see her primarily in the mid lane. I do want to say quickly about the bans. Keeper of the Light falling substantially out of popularity. We don't see a lot of Keeper of the Light pickups, but we do see a lot of Jara pickups. As you said, Jara having this great AoE team damage, having this high theoretical output that you can possibly throw out, but he is a little bit fragile, so he is also sort of fallen off since TR3. Meanwhile, Invidious picking up Shadow Demon, Shadow Demon, Visage, Jinkiro, 3 top supports. What are your thoughts on that?
I really like this. You have your Shadow Demon. This is the screaming aggressive tri-lane. Shadow Demon into a disruption. You'll have a follow-up from either Alina or Shrek to throw down to follow up the stuns, and then your Alchemist to finish off with a cocktail. So that's going to be a very aggressive tri-lane, and Divine Gaming have to be very careful. Weaver himself, he's going to be quite nice going against that aggressive tri-lane. He does have his Sakuchi. Once he hits level 6, he's got time-lapse. However, if Invidious eSports play this right, they'll have a counter-revelation down and instantly take out this Weaver no matter what. So Weaver, or whoever the offlane is going to be, have a very hard time. And if they do want to go a tri-lane against tri-lane, you have Rubik, Sven, and possibly their next hero in the lineup. That could be a very interesting tri-lane against tri-lane. So, but I would have to give it to Invidious eSports if they do go against the tri-lane, purely because that Shadow Demon is so powerful with that Alchemist and any follow-up stuns, which just being picked up now, the Mirana. Arrow, Disruption, and that Cocktail. It's going to be aggressive, and it's going to hurt.
Yeah, we've seen recently a lot of Mirana solo lane play just because of early level 6, being able to add that team gank potential through her ult. So whether or not she's in the tri lane or she's in that long lane by herself, we're yet to see how that unfolds. But in terms of Sven not really being picked up in recent months as a primary carry for the tri lane, but here Divine picking him up clearly as the offlane carry. It won't be a support Sven, but it's going to fit really well if they pick up a Jack or another stun type orientated hero. They're going to have a really good time. They're going to be able to set that up really well for Sven, and it is, as I think you said already, as Dota Yoshi has already alluded to, it's going to come down to which tri lane is more effective. And at this stage, on paper, I think it's Invidious eSports. I think they've got it on paper.
Yeah, they've just got that lineup that they'll force you out. You take one position or one step out of position, and you're just going to get hit hard and fast. There's nothing you can do about it. As long as that Shadow Demon is always in the right spot at the right time, he will pick off any hero without too much problems. But what it comes down to now is how Invidious eSports, they want to take the rest of the game. They're going to be wanting to sit around for 20 to 25 minutes, and Divine Gaming, they'll need to try and hit them hard and hit them fast early on. Weaver, it takes a while for him to start taking off. He needs a few of those items. He might even go for a defensive item with that Lincoln Sphere, and then it'll take even longer for him to start picking up ineffectiveness and damage output. However, Sven, he's in the same boat. He can't farm too well at the start of the game. He has an excellent stun, but he can only throw out one stun every, I would say, 3-4 minutes because he's got a very low intelligence mana pool. So, Divine Gaming, they're going to be there. In terms of picking, they're a little bit on their backs against the wall, purely because of the way the mana pools and how their heroes want to act. However, this Clockwork, he is the best disruptive hero in the game. He's Rocket Barrage, not Rocket Barrage, your Battery Assault, and your Hookshot in, you will ruin any team in any amount of time. And the Cogs will disrupt a team. It forces teams to split up. They get hit by the Cogs, lose mana, and then there's just nothing you can do about it. You're trapped off from the rest of your team and get picked off.
This lineup here screams to me that this Weaver is not going to be off lane. This Weaver is actually going to be part of a tri lane. What's Finn and potentially Rubik, Clockwork in the long lane, because Clockwork support doesn't work very well. As you already alluded, that hook shot, those cogs, you need those early to an engagement. But we see an unusual pickup, an untraditional pickup in the form of the Troll Warlord there. Wow, haven't actually casted any games in the last 6 months with actually in any Troll Warlord at all. So Invidious going sort of off the skew. They've got this real tier 1 pickup. Last pick, a bit of a surprise. Troll Warlord. Let's see how this unfolds.
And to introduce the teams of Invidious, we do have Tyrant the Captain will be running on that Troll Ward, followed by the Alchemist will be run by Reza. We will have on the Batrider Anabos, the support will be played by Bloodlock on the Shadow Demon, and finally we have the internal triangle on that Mirana.
Going into the laning phase, it looks like Radiant are choosing to choose a very offensive position, going 5-man top immediately to either block out the enemy jungle or at least forced an early engagement. In terms of early pickup on items, we see here that neither team has picked up sentry wards just yet, and neither team picking up smoke. So we're not going to see any good
We
early
do have a smoke,
gank.
actually.
Yeah, it's going to say fail cast. They actually used that smoke while I was casting. So yeah, they are going for an early engagement. Invidious being very, very aggressive and looking for some first blood action right here.
And the smoke has been dispelled. He should be throwing out a disruption. He's not going to throw it. They've got a stun challenge. Disruption's coming flying out. He's got no support. There should be one dead hero. Nice arrow. And there's the first blood.
First blood! Easy first blood. Great in coordination there between Invidious eSports. They show that they have they have what it takes. And this has caught Divine off guard. That Rubik being far out of position, being deep by himself and having no follow through, not being able to do anything. And so first blood being given up, that's going to give you a good gold advantage just to start the game.
That is, and that's going to hurt, especially going straight away. Well, not really Shadow Demon, but there's assists for the entire team, and that already starts off. Shadow Demon upgraded the courier. He's got enough money to buy awards, so he's going to be a rich support for the early start of the game, and it's going to help him out so much early on. And it's going to be aggressive tri-lane against aggressive tri-lane, and this is where Divine Gaming, they have to play cautious, they have to play quite defensively. If they do any pulls, then Invidious, they're going to come around and try and make him punish for it. You have one great disruption and an arrow, as you saw just before, and they will find a kill.
I don't think this is a wise decision here from Divine. They've got the clockwork in the tri lane as a support clockwork, and you know that means it's going to be very late hook shot, very late utility through that clockwork. So that's gonna work against them. And given they're going up against an alchemist, given they're going up against this really strong alchemist disruption combo that you already talked about, and Marana being in support there, they're going to have a very hard time. And clockwork's not going to really be able to rotate and add his hookshot and cogs into team fights that we normally see from a clockwork. Instead, they've gone for Weaver in the offlane against the troll, and I don't know how this is going to pan out because again, I haven't casted very many games with troll at all being picked up.
Yeah, I'm so happy. The recent patch, they introduced the 4 heroes to Captain's Mode. Troll, Centaur, I believe, or the other 2 heroes. Tauren Chieftain and the other one that I'm not thinking of. But I'm so happy that they're finally in. Give some variety to this fight. And I'm going to be scared of this Troll Lord. Troll Lord with his ult and the Alchemist when he's popped his Chemical Rage. That's going to be a lot of attack speed very early on for this Alchemist. He doesn't even need to pick up any major items and he's already going to be hitting hard and fast at the start of the game. Not to mention the rest of your side, you have your Mirana. She's got a leap. That will help boost the attack speed up of everyone around her. And it's going to be a lot of damage output coming out quite fast. So we're going to have to see some very great combination plays come out for Divine Gaming to be able to turn this back around and take the game out of Invidious's hands.
Yeah. On paper, this Invidious eSports, they definitely have the upper hand with their lineup. Though we cannot forget that there's a lot of utility coming out of the Dire team in Divine. They have utility in the form of the Rubik as well as the Clockwork if he can actually get the levels. And you know, Weaver's good, and we see a disruption down immediately, followed through with a stun from the arrow and also an unstable concoction. Again, Rubik being picked off, and another great kill there for Invidious eSports. Easy pickings, no chance of escape there for Ruben.
Yeah, I really do agree with you at the start of the game. I feel this isn't the right choice. They shouldn't be trying to go aggressive tri-lane against aggressive tri-lane at the moment. They should try and rotate this out. Maybe even leave the Clockwork here, bring the Weaver up here alone, and leave him up here, and force Invidious eSports to go on. And at the moment, we do have a disruption.
And again, disruption arrow into another unstable concoction. Man, we're overlapping a little bit on our casting, but this combo, how do you deal with this combo? Divine on the back foot, being one-sided at the moment because of all that lockdown. Man, so much lockdown.
Yeah, I really think they just need to rotate out of here and leave a solo hero here. At the moment, they're going to lose a lot more than what they're standing to gain by keeping this tri-lane here. And Invidious eSports are just going to keep punishing them while they stand here. And you can just see Bloodlock, he's already wanted to get back in there and disrupt a hero, but he's just jumping back a bit. Salvin up, or not Salvin, using a Tango and popping a Clarity, and he'll be ready for action very shortly.
Yeah, all they're basically what's limiting them picking up kill after kill is basically their mana pool. You know, they blow all their mana, killed somebody, blow their mana, kill somebody. This this Radiant team, Divine's Radiant team, they don't really have any answer for this. They could potentially cog, but there's no cogs up at all on the Clockwork. In fact, he's gone for the battery assault and rocket flare, which is not what you typically see with a support Clockwork, and so I think that's going to even punish them even more. They're not going to be able to disrupt the enemy team in terms of their position, so they won't be able to escape or capitalize on any out of position heroes at all. And in fact, this looks like a very, very bad matchup for them in this tri lane. And
Yeah, that's sure. We had the Rubik picks up that. Actually, we see a cocktail go down and flying, and then the stun coming out by the Sven, just keeping that Alchemist back. Unfortunately for Invidious, they had their two supports rotating in the river. They were going to check on that rune, but so they were out of position. They weren't able to capitalize on that out of position heroes of Divine Gaming there. But Divine Gaming, they're going to be happy with that, and they're just going to continue to play defensively. In mid lane, however, we have the Batrider. He is currently leading 14 for 8 against Queen of Pain's 4 for 4.
yeah, CS1. The Radiant team, they're dominating the charts in terms of CS. Quick look at the net worth, it's the same. You know, it's all green at the top of the bar, which tells me that Radiant are just picking up that much more CS. Those 3 kills leading to the net worth also, and it's a very, very large lead just early in the game. Oh, not even 5 minutes, and we're looking at almost a 3,500 gold difference between the two teams, and that's gonna make you worry if you were the Dire team.
And it's just going to keep skyrocketing. Once this Alchemist decides to go towards if he decides to go towards this Midas build, he'll get a lot of farm quite fast and quite early on. However, we see an arrow come flying through, lands onto the Sven, they're going to turn around, Acid Cocktail's been channeled, it's going to come out, final auto attack, and Shadow Demon will pick up a kill. Rubik throws out the Fade Bolt, do whatever damage he can, Clockwork's going to get disrupted, and Alchemist is going to run on out of there. So they pick up another kill there. Great communication by Invidious eSports.
Yeah, again, showing the lack of cogs coming out of Clockwork. There could have been potentially a save, if not a secured kill through the form of Clockwork, but Clockwork not picking up any levels in cogs, and that means they could just happily walk out of that engagement, which is exactly what they did, and after picking up that kill. And there's, again, no answer here from the Dire team. A bit of a misplay, and also, I think, a bit of a build error here by a number of the heroes.
I absolutely agree with you. I couldn't agree more, in fact. Without Cogs, Cogs is like one of the most vital spells on Clockwork. It's what makes Clockwork Clockwork. Being able to disrupt entire teams, stop a gank, stop a kill being happening, or even to pick up a gank of your own. He's going for this very greedy build, picking up battery shot. He expects to be in there and holding those supports back while doing a lot of damage. However, it's just not working out for him. And speaking of the supports of Invidious, they were thinking about rotating mid. However, they're going to come back up top and try and help out and find another kill up top on this Alchemist. For this Alchemist.
Yeah, I think it's in that situation where the kills are so good, they don't really want to leave the lane. They know they should probably start rotating and help out the other lanes, but they're having such a great time in the top lane, they don't really want to leave. And already Troll's getting level 6. He's popped his ult, which is going to mean that there's going to be a lot of damage. There is a lot of damage. It's coming out of Sven. The ability's getting thrown down. A plethora of damage, and he can't escape. He gets picked off. Another easy
down
pick
on
up there
bottom,
for
we see
Invidious
Troll
Sports.
Ward. He does pick up on that Weaver. Weaver did not have time lapse. He was two creep kills picking up his time lapse. And Tyrant, he takes advantage, walks up, spins with those axes, and finds himself a kill.
Well, I think Invidious Sports definitely having almost a stomp here. They're sitting at almost 5,000 gold advantage. Not even 7 minutes in the game, and there's another unstable concussion stun, but there's no follow through from the supports. In fact, Alchemist may get picked off here. No, telekinesis not being used effectively to pull him back, and in fact, he does get away. In fact, he is being cocky. He's sticking around. Meanwhile, in the mid lane.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate. The communication from Divine Gaming wasn't the best there. They could have picked him up and threw him into those cogs, which now Mercury has now leveled, and they could have found a kill into the Alchemist, and that would have slowed him down a little bit, and it would have helped out that try and give Savannah a little bit of free farm. And in middle, there's two support heroes. They're smoked up. They're waiting. Batrider is invisible himself. He's just waiting for that Queen of Pain to come in that position, and she's about to walk out. There we go. We got a disruption coming out. We got arrow being lined up. Arrow comes, lands, and we have a dead Queen of Pain. There's nowhere to run.
Yeah, Invidious Sports showing that they
down on
have...
bottom, actually, we do have another initiation between Weaver and to the Troll Ward. Weaver time lapses. Now Troll Ward's hitting a lot. He's trying to man up. Weaver's going to Sakuchi on out of it. He turns back around, throws out an auto attack. Gemini's doing a little bit of damage. Troll Ward's trying to man up and take it. One more auto attack. Did he get it? He does find the final hit.
Unbelievably, Troller takes that, given he gets away on 9 hit points. It looked like it was going to be Weaver, but he does actually pick it up through the fact that he has that Morbid Mask, that lifesteal just giving him this slight upper hand. Meanwhile, this is just totally a bit of a storm. Invidious just winning all the lanes in every location. Good rotation from the supports, and Queen of Pain being dominated in the mid position against the Batrider, which you don't typically see. Normally, Queen of Pain has a better time being able to dominate those runes, but she's not getting anything. In fact, she's hugging the tower because she's so afraid of the rotation of supports. Meanwhile, Alchemist, he seems to be trapped in the woods. No, he's trying to eat his way out. He's got nowhere to get. He's blocked himself in.
He's trying to sneak his way in there. Sneaky.
Yeah.
He's going greedy here. He's waiting for his supports to rotate up, which they are about to at the moment, and then they're going to start trying to be aggressive on top of this tier 1 tower. And I really like this play, but it's really aggressive. He's now been spotted out, but there's no initiation coming from Divine Gaming. They're afraid. They're afraid he's so aggressive that they did have supports coming in, which they are now on their way.
Wow, what do you do as Dire? I mean, they've got this terrible lineup here in the top lane. They haven't rotated at all. They haven't sort of capitalized on the fact that, well, not capitalized, but they haven't realized that they're behind the ball in terms of their laning. And in fact, they're giving it up a little bit. They're just sticking with their original lanes. They're not changing anything, and that's a big mistake, you know. If things aren't working, you need to consider whether or not you're going to rotate, whether or not you're going to TP top, and rotate out some heroes. But they haven't gone for anything, and we're into the 10-minute mark, and they're already 6,000, 7,000 gold behind, as well as XP. This is painting a very dire picture for Team Divine.
That's for sure, and you know you're not doing too well. We do see a disruption coming out on top, actually. Then the arrow comes flying through once again. Perfect timing. Cocktail's going to come through. Not even going to be needed. And Shadow Demon will pick up another kill to his tally. And Alchemist will get stunned. And as I was speaking, you know something's wrong when that Shadow Demon is beating your entire opposing team in net worth. He's got 1,800 gold, the highest on the side of Divine Gaming's 1,500 on that Weaver. And that's going to hurt. We have another stun being shadowed. Disruption. Arrow's going to come flying through once again. Another great timing. And the Cocktail will pick it off. Rubik lifts, but he's not going to be able to do too much.
Yeah, this deadly team. Wow, Warlord again picking up the Weaver in the bottom lane. Exactly the same MO, exactly the same result. And it's now Yeti for 0. This is definitely officially, as far as I'm considered, this is a steam snowball. There's no, you can't come back from almost you can't come back from this lead because it's so substantial. They need to really play conservatively here. They need to really take advantage of any opening that's given to them. And Dire, the Team Divine, they need to come up with something, because otherwise in the next 3 minutes this game's going to be over.
I agree with you. And the lineup of Divine Gaming, they do not have any heroes that can have that flash farming capability. Whereas on the side of Invidious, they have that Alchemist, they have a Mirana who can catch up, Batrider can just rotate in the jungle. Divine Gaming, they don't have any of this. No one can just rotate into the jungle to farm up these creeps and get a little XP and gold on the side. Sven, he takes a long time. He doesn't have cleave, and you don't expect to get cleave till about level 8, level 9. So he's got nowhere flash farming, and so this is going to be a very hard for Divine Gaming to come back into this game.
Yeah, you alluded in the drafting process that, you know, well, Unstable Kakashi should be charged up, and another stun down on the Rubik. Rubik feeding the enemy team yet again, out of position there, and also, I don't want to say it's his fault because there's nowhere for him to go, but lack of warding means
down on
that
bottom, we
they
have
have
an
no
initiation
vision.
against Troll Ward. The Mercury will fall to that Troll Ward. Troll Ward's turnaround is going against the Weaver. Weaver's already used that timeline, so he's got to be in a lot of trouble. Will Troll Ward stay around and try and fight it? No, the Gemini attack is not enough to finish off the Troll Ward. Troll Ward's going to turn around. He's getting one auto attack, but King of Jews will find the kill.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, yet another kill for this powerful trio, but they do pick up their first kill in the form of that Troll Waller going out for the first one. It is 14-1. And Invidious having a great time. In fact, I think they're feeling very relaxed about their position now. Let's have an unfold of the items. Items tell us this amazing story. Most of the tier 2 items, or I should say the core items, being built on Team Invidious, and very little boot conversion on Dire. They've got boots, but that's about it. And this is a very bad situation for the Team Dire. They need to really start thinking about how they can come back from this. But again, they're not changing anything. They're keeping everything as status quo, and that's exactly how Invidious Sports would like it.
And now they're going to just rotate, and they're going to push this tower up top. And once again, a stun's being channeled. It's going to land on this Rubik, and it's probably going to do about half his health. It will get landed. Stun gets fine out, but a little bit of miscommunication there, so it's not going to happen. Sven throws through, hits on 2 heroes, but they're not going to be able to fight this. They're on the run themselves. And now, will they be able to find this Rubik? One more auto attack, and arrows come flying through. Will Rubik dodge it? No, the arrow will land, and the Shadow Poison will pick off the kill on the Rubik.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah. Another pick up, and we have a Batrider lasso. They're coming through. Cancel TP. He wants to throw the stun out, but can he get away? He's searching for the high ground, but he can't get away. And it's another pick off there. It's now 16-1 in the favor of Invidious eSports, and this is officially a snowball. They can't even come back from this. In fact, they're diving the kills between the tier 1 and tier 2, which paints a picture that they're so confident they're not even worrying about going for the tower.
And there's no reason. We have a hookshot come flying through onto Reza, and will Mercury get his first kill? He does pick up a kill of his own now, and King of Jews, he does get a little bit of assist, so that's going to help him out to try and catch up a little bit. He's picked up a band of Elfskin, so he's not going to go any further from there, to be honest. He's not getting the farm, and now bottom tower will fall to that Troll Warlord.
Yeah, this Invidious lineup has so much potential now, you know. They have everything in place. They have the Alchemist for the late game. They have the Troll Warlord as well as the Mirana for the mid phase.
And the arrow lands in the middle onto Krifsa, and then doesn't have lasso available, but they don't need it. They've got more than enough damage to burst down that Queen of Pain.
Your phase ends.
Yeah. In fact, she's gone for an early Starstorm in her levels, Mirana that is, which is going to give her this great potential to be able to help pick off lone heroes who are all on their own, and instead of the high level of arrows, because, you know, sometimes picking up those high level arrows isn't going to work in your favor. Well, unstable Kakashi goes down, but it does land, but there's no kill because there's no vision.
And that Weave, he's got to be extremely careful. Batrider has his Blink Dagger up. He's ready to find a hero out. We might see initiation down in this bottom room. No, Weaver's going to be out. Arrows come flying through. Will it land? That's the first missed arrow of the game from Eternal Triangle. He's been having a fantastic game so far with this Mirana. Disruption's going to be cancelled. He just got out of line of sight, and they're not going to be able to find a kill into that Weaver.
Meanwhile, Batrider, Alchemist, they're roaming in. They're looking for a kill. They are going to find someone if they're not careful, and they do. They find it in the form of Weaver, as well as oh no! Unfortunately, there's a lasso there also for Clockwork. He tries to somehow get away, but there's no escape from that lasso. And Weaver, he can't help because he's taken so much damage already. Meanwhile, they're also taking Rush.
And this is going to be extremely fast rush, especially with that Troll Lord. You have that ult, you pop it off, and then the rush is going to fall. And not to mention they have an Alpha Wolf from his dominated creep. So it's just going to burn on down. They're going to hit the rush on, and they're just going to work towards the tier 2 tower. May even see a tier 3 tower in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, they give it up for the Alchemist, who's also building into a Radiance with a second Relic, or potentially, if he wants to be Baller or YOLO, he can also build a Rapier from there, but I don't expect that out of the Alchemist. In fact, I expect him to go for that Radiance. It's a mess. It's a bit of a mess here for the Dire team, and they're not responding to the pushes. No TPs. It's going to give up towers everywhere, and then no cohesion in terms of what they're planning to do.
And the arrow lands. The Weaver falls. We have Batrider throwing that flame break out. Troll Lord's in out of nowhere. Disruption being thrown out. We have the Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave being thrown out. Not doing too much damage, but the Shadow Demon will fall. But they will get a turnaround kill and find the Clockwork in return. And now the Troll Lord, he's turning back around. Will he be able to find the pick off onto that Queen of Pain? We have a flame break. Flame break will push him back. One more auto attack. Lasso is being used onto the Queen of Pain to find that kill.
And I just want to say that lasso just came off a cooldown exactly at the right time. It wasn't like it was waiting. 1 second is all he needed, and he used that flame break to push him back, to give him that power, that potential to use that use that lasso. Great timing there. It's now 21 for 3, officially a snowball, as they're over 10k everything. And in fact, I think this, as you called before the game, I think this is a one-sided game. It's definitely going in the favor of Invidious Sports, and they've got this. It's their game to throw away.
And if we see an Alchemist pick up the Divine Rapier, come on, I want to see a Divine Rapier. If that Alchemist does pick up the Divine Rapier, there's always a potential turnaround for the side of Divine Game to come back into this. Pick up the Divine Rapier on your Sven, pop that God Strength, and you're hitting for over 600 HP or 600 damage at 20 minutes. We see a Moonlight has been popped. They're going to be looking to initiate onto this top lane. Will the side of Divine Gaming turn around? We've got Mirana. Mirana's going to throw out her Miracle Arrow. Not even needed. We've got the lasso coming off cooldown. Forced off back onto the tower. And Sven's going to take a lot of damage. And he will fall shortly after throwing out his hammer. Only landed on one hero.
Yeah, there's nothing Sven really can do. He's so oh, amazing play there from Mirana. She jumps in and throws an arrow. The stolen Rubik ult though means he can get away with Mirana's Moonlight Shadow. So great play there. Disruption though coming down, and they do find Rubik. After all of that evasion, he chooses to TP from the forest, and there is a Divine Rapier pickup from the Alchemist.
That's a little bit unfortunate for the Rubik. He just went back and Invidious protected correctly. They're going to be turning on to Mercury. Mercury's going to take a little bit of damage. Will they want to dive in the tower? Flame Break will push him back, and they should easily find another kill into this Mercury. He's going to throw out the Rocket Barrage, but that's not going to be able to do too much.
Yeah, this goes through the fact that, you know, if you're going to TP back to base, you need to find a safe location. Just because you've got invisibility and you got away doesn't mean you're in a safe location. You know, duking around the tree somewhere to TP from, that's where you want to be. Rubik obviously doesn't know that because he's been picked off as a result. But, you know, this Alchemist, he's now going to snowball out of control. He's 9k, that's almost what? 6k lead in net worth?
That's the entire
in fact,
side
it's all radiant.
of the Divine Gaming. He's got more than the golden side of Divine Gaming. They're going to be turning around. They're looking to go in on top once again. We've got a disruption coming out. Lasso onto the disrupted target. We've got a stun coming out, and there's just going to be 2 heroes dead. There's not much Divine Gaming can do about that.
Yeah, this is a bit of pumps up. Like the Invidious Sports looking to probably end this game in the next 3 minutes. They're going to push down this top tier 2 tower. They're going to push down the top 3 tier tower. There's no answer out of this die team. In fact, this is clearly almost a pub stomp.
It's a little bit unfortunate for Divine Gaming. They're new to the Cybergamer Ladder, so they might not have the time together as a team as Invidious Gaming do. They've played together for quite a while, so they know how each other works and can play to each other's advantages. And down on the bottom, we have Trollord up against the Weaver. Cookshot comes fine in, but it's going to miss, and Trollord's just going to BKB up and take on these 2 heroes. He'll burst down that clockwork. He's going to look towards the Weaver. Weaver's trying to do whatever he can. He's going to Sakuchi up, and Trollord's not going to be able to chase him back down.
Yeah, this is too much level, too much farm advantage on this Invidious Sports. In fact, if we look at the graphs, I don't want to, but the graphs tell me a terrible story. Not even 20 minutes into the game, and the advantage here is so strong. Look at the 3 hero combination on the bottom lane. They really want to get this Trollord. Trollord just dukes them, gets around, and the rest of his team coming in for the kill. In fact, this is going to be a disaster.
Once again, a nice arrow landed by Mirana, turn it around, and they will find that Sven. So they thought they had the kill there. In the end, the side of Invidious eSports, they turn back around, come in with Mirana's ult, and they will find 2 kills. And then it's going to push in. They're going to lasso up onto that Queen of Pain, and she's just going to instantly melt. Like, two abilities, and she's gone and out of there.
Yeah, Divine Sports feeling really, they're going to feel really bad. They're not going to feel very good about this game. They're going to feel that they've been completely one-sided. They're not going to take away much from this game, which is unfortunate given that it's their debut onto the Star Ladder. And in fact, they're getting beaten quite severely. And it's now, this should be the Rax. This should be the GG moment here. We should see a GG out of Divine Sports, but we see nothing just yet. They're going to fight it to the bitter end, I think.
It's always the way to go. You never know. You might pick up a Divine Rapier and turn the game back around. However, we do have the Aegis being popped on the Alchemist. Unfortunately, he still had another 30 seconds. He actually had another 3 seconds on that. So they will pop it off before he gets resurrected. They do find a kill on the Trollord. Trollord will buy back. Sven falls shortly after to that Batrider. And now that's going to get the Rax. There's not too much... There wasn't too much Divine Game could do most of the game, but this is just the nail in the coffin. Or about the 19th nail in the coffin.
Yeah, there was very little chance, and in fact, you called this game a 30-minute game, less than 30-minute game, and it's definitely the situation here. They're farming the well even. This is GG. Invidious pushing now for the throne. I think they're just going to rotate around to the middle, clean up a little bit, and then push down the throne and win the game.
I hope Divine Gaming don't get too discouraged by this. They are new to the ladder and they probably don't have too much time working together. I hope they can just put in a solid few weeks working together, getting each other's team play and coordination up to scratch, and figuring out their hero compositions. Because I mean, Sven, Clockwork, and a Rubik in the same lane is not really the most efficient combination you want for your debut.
Yeah. I think we talked a little bit about this before the game. It does really come down to the laning, you know, the draft in the lane, and definitely Divine Sports didn't win this lane. They were definitely behind on the laning, and they didn't react to it. They just left it as status quo. And if you're not winning your lanes, you need to really consider rotating, at least, or thinking about rotating, but no rotation at all coming out of Divine, and that's where they fell down. They didn't realize that, hey, look, I'm behind. Let's look at some other options, because I do feel that Clockwork as a support isn't really the best.
I definitely agree with you. But unfortunately, Invidious eSports are just going to sit back and farm up a little bit more. Not sure what next items they want to go for. It looks like the Alchemist will be working towards his Basher. Get some Bashers in and clean up heroes even faster. You have your Barrett, he's working towards his Cypher first. Over on the Shadow Demon, he's got his Yield Scepter and 4 stuff. He's the richest Shadow Demon in history of Shadow Demons. And the Alchemist, he now has his Assault Cuirass up and running as well.
Yeah, they're just waiting for another rush, I think, or they're looking just to push out the lanes a little bit more and finish this game, hopefully. There shouldn't be any reason why they're holding back, but they aren't really holding back. They're just looking to push those lanes, potentially wait for a rush, and then end the game under security. But this game definitely won now by Invidious Sports.
And Divine Gaming, they're just sitting back. They're hoping for that very rare opportunity they can find to pick up from one of these heroes. But it feels at the moment that 2 of these heroes can take the side of Divine Gaming. And now they're all converging in on the middle here, and we will see the final stages of this game unravel.
Yeah, the only real chance that I should say that Divine have is if this Weaver does get the Divine Rapier. That's the only way they have. And meanwhile, they're answering the bottom. Look at that damage coming out of Troll and Alchemist. There's no holding back there. Under Troll's ult, they pick off yet another hero. They are going for Mega Creeps. This is GG. Not much more to cast about that, really.
Yeah, now we just see the after effects of Invidious eSports, sorry, just picking off all these heroes. See how much higher they can get their kills. Another arrow landing, killing a Weaver. We will see some diving just around the fountain. They don't even need to dive, actually, and they will find a few more kills. And now Clockwork, he is in the no man's land at the moment. He's running from Alchemist. Barrow jumps back in. They're going to start napalming him up, and he's going to die in a few auto attacks. The entire team chase outside the base for that kill.
Yeah, we can see the potential of this Troll Warlord with Alchemist. You know, this is a good pickup. I do think that this works well. You know, the Troll's not really a carry. He's really like a support carry. And, you know, this has been a bit of a fun game for them because they have picked up 2 ACs where they didn't need to. But you can see the potential of this, of Troll coming into a meta. You know, you can really see how this Troll's ability can be used as almost like a support Troll.
And that's what I really love about these new heroes coming in the pool. It opens up a lot more utility to these sides. You have your Centaur, Ward. He's got a global speed boost himself. He's got a great stun and his double-edged blade's fantastic. You have your Torrid Chieftain. He'll work towards more AoE synergy teams and can come very effective early on once he hits level 6. His ult's pretty much one of the best ults in the game. And these new heroes that have just been added into Captain's mode, they're going to be fun to watch as the weeks progress.
And you get So I was Omegakai, that was Dirty Yoshi. Thanks for watching the stream, and also if you're watching it on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit follow, because your support is greatly appreciated. Want to thank Dirty Yoshi for coming along. I don't know if this is a best of 3. Do you know? Or is this
no,
just a one-off match?
It's a single game.
Unfortunately, this is the only match between these two, although I do expect Invidious to win any other matchup if it was best of 3. But thanks again, guys, for watching, and we'll stay tuned, and maybe some more matches later this afternoon.
Have a good one.